Oh, hello, and welcome to Dente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
I'm Mikey, the E stands for evil.
And I'm the gamer in yellow.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories, most creepy and most pasta, and be critically silly doing it. And tonight we have, or at least we're returning to, Borrasca, Part 2. So yeah, we return to Borrasca, and thank God we decided to do each part per an episode, because this one is different from the first one. There's a lot more there's a lot to cover in this story, as we find out. Mm-hmm. It's almost like it's 4 or 5 parts. Borrasca, as we mentioned last episode, is by the Dalek Emperor, or c.k.walker. You can find out no Reddit. You can find it on Reddit, NoSleep. And I guess we'll just go into the rundown. I'm going to try to remember what it was, because it was a couple of days ago I read this. So,
Well, it starts with the poem.
First, it starts with the poem, which is the creepy poem.
And then it starts with someone waking up.
Yeah. First thing though, 7 years later.
You do not know that from the get-go.
You get it earlier. You do get it early on.
Not.
No, yeah, about not like the first paragraph, but you do get it in the first handful of paragraphs.
Is it 7 or 8?
About 7 or 8 paragraphs in. Which is not
years.
It's 7 years. It's been 7 years. Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
100%?
Yes.
It sounds about right.
Yes. It is 7 years.
They're in sophomore year. Finishing up.
But they said it's been 7 years since she went missing.
Do they?
And they were 9 or 10. They were 9 and 10
Right.
in the first one.
Control F on phone. 7.
Which makes them either 6 or 16 or 17.
It's 7. It's talking about 7 years repeatedly.
Yeah.
Okay. Whitney
still hasn't been found. Like, it's become just another... She's become another stat on the in the town's disappearance chart. And Sam is now working at a sandwich place that's owned by the Prescotts. The sandwich place isn't doing too well, and Jimmy Prescott, who's now in charge of the Prescott company, comes in and to talk to
Mira.
Mira, thank you. I do have her in my notes. So it's like Mira for about who's the proprietor or the manager of the sandwich store, about the fact that it's not doing very well.
I don't know if proprietor is the word.
That's why I said manager.
Yeah.
I corrected myself. And so Mira lets Sam go home early.
Because no one shows up at the show.
Yeah, because Jimmy's sandwich is like he can count the number of sandwiches he's done in a month on one hand, which is pretty bad for a sandwich shop.
Yep.
And so he leaves, hops in his car, gets hold of his friends, and they go to Crystal Lake to
Camp.
Yeah, to sunbathe and check out the chicks because they're in high school now. Kimber and Kyle are now dating, and they all hang out at the beach, and they bump into some of the kids from the previous part that are now stoners. Mm-hmm. And they start talking about the weird disappearances and the mysteries of the town and how it's all connected. Or they think it's all connected while they're in a drug haze kind of thing, and then they realize that they probably shouldn't be trying to get the sheriff's son stoned.
Yeah.
So they vamoose.
Oh yeah. Also, his father has become sheriff now.
Yes. I think what happens after that? He goes home. Oh yeah, and so he goes home after
Kimber's family's having
issues,
and she has to go home early
to watch her mom, to keep an eye on her mom because her mom's super depressed.
Pretty much.
The mom, Kimber's mom is depressed, so she has to go home early. Sam goes home and is told by his dad that he has to the last Monday before the summer. Most of the kids in school just kind of ditch. But he has to set an example because they're really trying to like stamp down on like that, like on people like not being in school or not being in attendance. It's weird. It's almost as if the town has a weird dark secret where people go missing. And so him and his friends are stuck staying in school along with a handful of other kids that Monday. Who all glare at Sam as if it's his fault that his dad and the police have enforcing this mandatory like stay in school kind of thing.
That most people aren't even taken to heart because still most of the school isn't there.
Yeah, then the cops come by. A cop comes by and like takes the attendance sheet and then goes to people's houses to give them a ticket.
Yeah.
So they last about halfway through the day before they decide to just
they essentially go out and like have a smoke, and there's normally cars everywhere, so it's easier to hide. But either way, and then Kyle suggests that the guy came by to take attendance.
Yeah,
Sam, you've done your job as a good son. Let's just go.
Plus, they also have the attendance sheet already, so you're already accounted for.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
So yeah. So then they say, "Fuck it, we'll just bail."
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what they do after that.
He goes to work.
Oh yeah, he goes to GameStop and like there's no the game he wants isn't there, so he just decides to go to work early. But when he gets there, after dropping off Kyle to Kimber's place, Mira is in the back, like just bawling her eyes out and like stressing super
Right, because he
much.
shows up to work early.
Yeah, and stressing super hard on the fact that like she doesn't know like how to keep the business going and there's something else going on.
Like ever since she took over, they've been like in the red essentially. So
Yeah.
she thinks that she's fucking up.
Yeah, and then so not sure what to do as he sits in the front and hearing this woman crying in the back. He calls her husband to come over, and then we get kind of an exposition dump from the husband
About what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on? Like apparently they've been trying to have kids. And she doesn't want to even think about the other option they have, and like she treats it as like it's the husband's fault. And then we find out that Mira is actually the reason why she's so stressed out about that is because she's the last of her line of her family, which are the family of who had like the 4 miners die in the mines or go missing in the mines that were close to the Prescotts, and it's all part of the mystery of the like why the Prescotts wanted to keep the mine going, and then the town eventually just like collapsed them. We get all of that kind of information dumped from there. Then Mira comes out and says that like she's ready for she wants to do option 2 or their other option, which I kind of took as like adoption, but
I don't know what it is, to be honest. It's hard to say. She just says like I called him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was. We might find out later. But we got our information about what we actually wanted from this whole scene. And so Mira lets him go early. Either her or the husband let him go early. And he goes to Kimber's place where Kyle is sitting at the curb because he got kicked out because the mom apparently hates Kyle. And they decide like from there they decide Kimber comes out, but then she has to like go watch her mom because something crashes out in the inside of the house, and then Kyle and Sam go to start talking about like the weird disappearances and the Prescott and the McClaskey family, and so they decide to go to the historical society to find out information about it. And they go there, they find information about the mines.
Essentially a lady sitting there and they just...
She's super excited about like somebody actually showed up.
And they lie that they're doing some like end of year exam on this.
Yeah.
So they ask specifically about the collapse of the McCaskies. I'm like, oh, well, that's dark, but okay. And it starts telling them everything that they need to know.
Yep. And so from there they go to...
Well, what do they essentially find out there?
They find out that the McClaskeys, or that the Prescotts, spent a lot of time and money trying to find the
bodies.
the bodies, but they never did.
Yeah, and then the town essentially went, no, I don't want to risk more people.
Yeah, the town was like, yeah, you guys are being like, this is an obsession. No. And then they contracted a really poor demolition company to demo the caves, and so that those explosions caused the...
It contaminated the water table.
Yeah, and so they spent a lot of money filtering the water system.
Mm-hmm. Then after that, they go and regroup with Whitney, who is...
Kimber.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just looking at the page, and I see the word Whitney, and I took that. With Kimber, and she's like babysitting or something.
Yeah, she's babysitting the kids, and they want to talk to the old Prescott, Thomas Prescott. And so they figure out where he lives, or where he's being staying now, because he's at a hospice in another town. And all the while they're playing that, Sam is looking at the kids who are playing, and they're doing the rhyme, and or they're playing a game of like, oh, the Skidmen are going to get you. And he notices like a carving in the tree on the property, just kind of like 100 yard or like kind of like 50 yard stare. Mm-hmm. And then so they plan to go to this person's or to Prescott's hospice. They go the next day, or after school they go the next day, and they talk to him. He's basically suffering from dementia, but they managed to get in by telling them that their family, and
continuing their path of lying.
Yeah,
to get the information they need.
Well, yeah, it's gumshoe. It's teen gumshoe 101.
Yes,
secrets and lies.
Mm-hmm.
So they find out from Thomas that through his ramblings that it's all about the powder, and that there's something to do with like a powder that is harmful, but it doesn't know it's harmful. People make it harmful, or people say it's harmful, and they did what they had to do to keep the town alive. And so the kids insinuate that is to do with like a drug trafficking. And then they get a call on the way back from Thomas's that the Kimber's mom is in the hospital. And so they rush out to the hospital, and they find out that from the cops and from her mom or from her dad that she went home. She would do some groceries, came home, made some meatloaf and lasagna, put it in the fridge. Went to the hospital, went up to the roof of the hospital, jumped off the hospital roof, and before she died, apologized to the paramedics that tried to help her. Mm-hmm. And that's where we leave part 2, with the death of Kimber's mom under strange circumstances. So, with that rundown, apologies. Again, it was about 2 days since I read the story.
I was skimming along trying to make sure you caught the important things.
Yep.
The only thing you may have missed, whether or not it'll be important or not in the future, is when the kids were playing.
Yeah.
They were saying, I got you. He's like, no, you didn't get me. I was touching the tree. So that might become a thing in the future.
Well, and they also actually added a new element to that whole like rhyme and story, is like not just the Skin Man and Borrasca, but now there's the Shiny Man.
Shiny Gentleman.
The Shiny Gentleman.
Mm.
So there's that to put into account now. So everyone expects the Grammar Inquisitions at this point. Mm-hmm. This one had a few more than the first one, if I remember correctly. Starting with, Jimmy Prescott stepped back from the counter and idly studied that pictures on the wall, though he'd seen them 1,000 times before. So I think it's supposed to say, like, the pictures on the wall, or even maybe those, but not that. Mm-hmm. The next one is, more of the photos were of the Prescott family taken over... Wait.
This is the next sentence. This entire paragraph has a few issues.
Each sentence of this paragraph has an issue with it. So, more of the photos were of the Prescott family taken over the last century. It's supposed to be most of the photos.
Yep.
The
Did
next
you get
one
the last one too?
Yep. I caught all of them. Like I was like, really? Like we're just at the beginning of the story. Mm. And then the next one is, I'd always thought it odd decor But then the shop was named after them after all. And it's supposed to be, I'd always thought it odd. I always thought it odd decor. But then, oh wow, that's also missing a comma.
I was going to say there should be a comma there as well.
Yep, it's also missing a comma. So yeah, it's supposed to be thought and a comma after that. Mm-hmm. The next one I have is, it still seemed unnatural to me to see the two off them without rude nose. So it's supposed to be of.
Oh, I missed that.
It still seemed unnatural to see the two of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The next one is, they were kind enough not bring it up, but I knew they wanted to know what I believed. So it's supposed to be, they were kind enough not to. And yeah, I bring up that, this has a lot more minor spelling grammar issues than the last one did, if I remember. And then there's this one. I didn't want them to know how obsessed I had become with the Borrasca and the Skin Men. Should it be just Borrasca? Or is it the Borrasca? I've never actually looked up what Borrasca means.
We haven't found out. All we know is it's a place.
Well, I Googled it. I Googled what Borrasca means.
Okay, but what it means in real life and what it means here.
Well, yes, but I mean, actually it makes sense why they call it Borrasca. Because Borrasca means, it can mean either a storm swell or an unprofitable mine. Which does make a lot more sense. So basically, when they're referring to Borrasca, they are referring to the mines. Mm-hmm. Because even one of the characters says, like, oh, what does the Borrasca have to do with this? So, the next one is, I knew as assuredly as the sun would rise tomorrow that Whitney's death had happened at there. Should it be happened out there or just there?
Either or.
Yeah. Happened at there just sounded off to me. Next one is, I recognize her as the same woman who had given us a lecture in 5th grade. Blah. And that was with the spelling issue, which is, you just have to remove the before or between given and us. So it's just who had given us a lecture in 5th grade. Then my last one is, Kyle threw the car in gear and screeched of the parking lot. So it's supposed to be screeched out of the parking lot.
Or off, maybe.
Yeah, screeched
probably
off the parking lot.
Makes
I think out of the, yeah. And that's my grammar inquisitions. Mikey, these stands for evil. How many buts and ands did you find in front of sentences?
Well, apparently, you need at least one front butt or front and before my grammar inquisition kicks in. So,
because that's the first one you notice, and then you start seeing everything else.
Yes.
Okay.
Hence, it's becoming a trope now in our show.
So, did you not find it?
Yeah, I found the first one is a front end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where with Phil, and he says, "That true man?" Phil asked, and there it was.
Mm-hmm. And there it is.
Yeah.
The front there it is.
Yeah. See, the thing is, like, I get you, like that. I do agree, like that.
I have a note on this. We'll continue.
But like in dialogue wise, like I've heard that phrase so many times. Like, and there it is, and there it was. Like I've heard that in the last couple of months, like at least 100 times.
Yes.
In dialogue.
In people when people are talking and like they say somebody says something and then the person their comment back is just and there it is.
Now, there isn't a really easy fix because in this story, they did use italicized to denote what thought.
Yeah, they do.
So if they just put that in italics, you would have been...
Fixes the problem.
Because, because it's the main character being like, and there it was.
Yeah.
So, because then it's internal dialogue, and that gets a pass. Alright. My next one here is a front butt. I'd always hoped the official report was right and that Whitney was somewhere far away from here, alive and happy with Jay Bauer. But his MySpace page showed a thriving teenager still living at home with his parents, his ex-girlfriend, Whitney, the furthest thing from his mind.
But his MySpace page.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a real problem.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And the next one is another front butt. I heard him crying in there for hours as I waited for him to reopen the case and bring the smack down on the Butler County Sheriff's Department. But justice had never come, and we never mentioned Jay Bauer again. So that's just a front butt.
Yep.
There.
Same thing as always, just remove it or put it however.
Alright, and then that's been covered. And we have a front hand. Kimber laughed. I know, I just want to be there for my mom right now, but thank you, sweetie. And then the absolutely disgusting sound of my best friends kissing. I would never get used to it.
And there it is.
Yep.
So, it's like then the absolutely disgusting sound. Like, you don't need and then. Unless you
put it in italics, and then it works.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost like cheating, but yeah.
You know what? No, it's not cheating.
I thought you were going to continue with, you know what, fuck you.
No, it really isn't cheating.
I know.
Yeah. It's already been established that he has a thought process, and they have had thought in italics in this story.
Yes.
Yeah, it is established.
So if you unestablish that, then earlier in the story makes no sense. Because
it still makes sense. It's just weird that it didn't continue because it was so prevalent early on.
Yeah. A front butt and a colon that should probably be a semicolon. The summer meant no distractions, more time to think, and even more hours of boredom at Prescott Artesian Sandwiches.
God. Artisan.
No, it's actually artisan.
Isn't it artisan?
Yeah. When that word, like, yes, it's spelled that way, but you say it artisanal or artesian.
I've heard artisan before.
You probably have, but it's artesian because it sounds fancier.
They're artisans.
It may also be a tomato, or like shaman, like thing where like it's said two different ways, even though it's spelled the same. Depends on the dialect.
You say tomato, and I say tomato.
But Jimmy, it's the same thing on the teleprompter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Prescott.
Whenever I read that, and like I've heard it so many times, like artesian or
I've never heard artesian.
Not artesian or artesial.
You're literally saying the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
But I've never heard that.
All right, that's fair.
Leave us a comment if you've heard it as artesian.
Yeah,
or if you're normal and you just hear artisan.
You're a dick.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
That's fine.
60% of the time.
Yeah,
it works every time.
60% of the time I'm a dick all the time.
Yeah. But I wasn't looking forward to tomorrow for another reason. Besides...
My colon is the reason. My colon will fail tomorrow. Oh! Sorry, continue.
He had that 7 million Scovilles sandwich.
Yeah.
They warned him not to have it from the sandwich shop.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's his fault, really.
Yeah.
Besides it being Monday, it was also sophomore ditch day.
Yep.
Yeah, so that just... Yeah, I was looking forward to tomorrow for another reason, semicolon. Besides it being Monday, it was also sophomore ditch day.
Gotcha.
So still talking about tomorrow.
Yeah, a straight up colon would be if you're starting a list.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. And we have another front end. I was sure all the car had really done was give him the confidence to ask her out. And now that it's part of their romance ended, The car sat in the garage of the Landy home collecting dust instead of memories.
Yeah, it really could have just been like now that it's part of the romance had ended. But yeah. It's really just like kind of like an and like front ands and front butts are really just like the uhs and ums of writing.
Yeah, and it's bad enough when we say that in our actual dialogue, saying but when you have the time to write it down, it's kind of worse.
Alright, and the next one is there's an extra with that doesn't need to be there. Well, it just doesn't need to be there.
Oh, I was hoping it would be. I went over to Kimber's with. Was
there actually one like that?
No.
Okay. I like you were saying
when I hear extra with, I was
I get you. Yeah, I was just like when you said that, I was like. I vaguely remembered reading something that was with like recently, so I was like, was that in the story?
Just there's a character named With.
Yes,
I went over there with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's actually Wit. The H spell is silent in the name.
Really? No, it's Weh. The T is silent. Weh. Continue.
Yes.
We walked down the hall and found an old, thin man sitting alone and whispering to himself.
That's weird.
Yeah, that with does not need to be there at all.
Yeah, just read it without the with. We walked down the hall and found an old, thin man sitting alone and whispering to himself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So much better. We got that one.
Yeah, that is a weird with. It's like... Look down the hall, saw an old man sitting down, potatoes alone, like just completely, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's the same kind of like effect as like not adding something, like not adding a word, like the one I had earlier, where it was like the two had like there had to be a two between the two words because otherwise it's just like it was just like I can't remember which one it was.
Well, it don't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Either way, I totally get.
Yeah.
Why this error probably happened. It's probably because they started typing something, and it's like the old man sitting with. It's like, wait, no, I don't want him sitting with something, but they probably forgot to backspace it. Yeah. I've done that multiple times.
Mm-hmm. All right, and this one it feels like there's a missing do. Although I think this is dialogue.
No, that is fine. It's the way the character would talk.
Wow, way to bring up Borrasca. Or not Borrasca, fucking...
I will bring up Borrasca.
Alright. What is it called?
Bruja.
There's another B one.
It's another Spanish name.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's all Spanish to me.
I know we had to it, but it's your son.
I know we had to watch the movie It, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think, it definitely, I know we had to do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Alright. Save that for actual thought, because you already brought up the grammar. And we're good.
Alright.
Cool.
Gamer, what do you got?
Cool. No, I got one.
You actually have one? Okay.
I have one thing left.
That I didn't catch. Or
Yeah, well, you kind of...
I didn't catch that entire paragraph.
Yes, and that was my only other one, because I only had two. My other one isn't... I guess it's sort of grammar-y. At the point where Phil asks Sam about the whole situation, being like, is that true, man, about his sister being missing and stuff?
Yeah.
So the quote is that true, man, Phil asked, and there it was. And then it goes to the next paragraph, I know Kyle and Kimber, blah, 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 blah. I kind of feel like that it's, like, the way it's laid out, it's kind of laid out in one of those moments where, like, he's sitting there with his friends talking, and everything's fine, and then all of a sudden, this comes up, and then all of a sudden it goes to slow motion, and then...
a gunshot.
No, it was... Damn it, did you not hear it?
Yeah, I heard a gunshot.
It's not. I have slow motion sound, hang on.
Oh.
I'll get it closer. I tried to boost the gain, but it didn't work. But yeah, it's like they're sitting down, everything's fine, and then all of a sudden this question comes up, and so all of a sudden, time stops. And then, then everything's paused, and he has to, like, think and, like, explain it to the audience.
So it's like, Well, I guess you're wondering how I got.
Yeah, exactly. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah,
And
or like when an older version of the character like narrates from A Christmas Story, where it's like, well, I got with Sir in a pickle this time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But the way it's laid out, it doesn't really. Yeah, and I feel like that would have been fixed if it just went, "Is that true, man?" Phil asks, and then that's the end of the paragraph.
Yeah.
And then the start of the next paragraph is, "There it was."
Yeah.
Because it's breaking up.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only grammar-related discrepancy I have left.
Okay.
Oh, I missed one.
Oh no! Hurry up before we go into actual thoughts.
All right.
Hurry up!
All right. So
Too late.
this one, I read it and it was hilarious.
Oh no.
Once they'd left, we'd explained everything that had happened to Kimber while she listened and rocked the baby in her arms.
You know what? I remember reading that. I was like, I think I should put this down. I don't know if I actually did my actual thoughts, but yes.
How are you reading that?
As they're talking about what happened with Kimber. To Kimber.
No, yeah,
She's listening.
they're relaying what had happened to a person. But the way I read it, I guess the way Mikey read it, it was like they're relaying the information about Kimber while she's there, like in the bed. Guys, I'm right here. You're talking about me.
So weird.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, it's around the time when they're all they've all met back and she's babysitting on the front yard. Also, is it just me or did it seem kind of weird that she's has
outside?
She has the crib outside and stuff like that. I guess it is early summer, and she's letting the kids play outside, so she had to bring the crib out for the baby. But it just seemed really weird that she's holding the baby, watching the other kids play in the yard, and then she goes to put the baby in the crib in the driveway.
Maybe went inside.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. It just seemed odd to me, just or that imagery, and I guess it does work because if it's summertime, I can see somebody bringing out an outdoor crib for the baby, but yeah, that imagery is strange at first. All right, with that segue, actual thoughts. Mm-hmm. So, I didn't know how she did it. Mira was perhaps the most burdened and stressed out woman in all of Drisking, but she never failed to be unbelievably kind. There was a hopelessness about her, a sadness that she hid very well. Mira's in on it too! Okay, strangely enough, she is connected to all this, as we find out, but may not be directly involved in the town secrets. Maybe. Still not sure yet. We still haven't gotten,
Alright.
I'm just
I wondered why you had your tinfoil hat on today.
Yeah, yes. Oh, there's it's on. It's got Hershey's Kisses inside. Anyway,
Call the police.
next on Conspiracy Cultist.
Yeah.
And then there's this one. Crystal Lake was my favorite place in all of Drisking. Uh-oh. As if this town doesn't have enough dark murder secrets to... Now they have a slasher killer.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. Just any lake ever called Crystal Lake will never not have that pop up in my head when I see it.
Mm-hmm. Especially if they ever camp there.
Yeah.
That being said, if there was a Crystal Lake around us, you would want to camp there.
Oh fuck yeah! I would do it with my Jason gear and stuff too.
Yep. Make sure to bring a machete so he can use it on you if
I
necessary.
apparently decided in my notes to take down an entire fucking half a page. I'm sorry to call you at home, Mr. Daly. I just didn't know what else to do. That's okay, Sam. You did the right thing. He looked tired, and I could tell the situation wasn't new to him. Is she okay? I mean, will she be okay? Oh yeah. He nodded. We're just going through some things. Oh, Mira said the store is going bankrupt too. I winced as soon as the words were out of my mouth. Yeah. Owen ran a hand through his hair. That's part of it. Although I don't think Jim is going to let that happen. Mira is more upset about... He sighed. Has Mira told you about her appointments? No. Well, We've been trying to get pregnant for years. Long, painful years. It's just so goddamn important to her to have a baby. And she blames me for all her problems? He walked around the room, staring at the pictures, not really talking to me anymore. I understand why it's important to her. I just don't understand the obsession with it. Because she's the last one in her family? Because she's the last McCaskey on the planet? I mean, does she even realize that our baby wouldn't be a McCaskey? He'd be a Daily. Sorry. He'd be a Daily. It's like a daily, like doing a daily quest. Sorry.
It's fine. I can appreciate it. Yeah.
I tell you, Sam, never marry a woman with a crazy father and 4 dead uncles. They develop these obsessions with lineage and 4 dead uncles. And then it continues to go on about like an exposition about that. So to which I point out, you have a grieving wife in the back? What are you doing delivering exposition and personal town history to the main character? Like the whole time this was going on, like this, I was reading that whole blurb and some of that. I was just thinking that it's like, your wife is in the back.
Yeah, after you spent more than a minute talking to this kid.
Yeah, wow. I guess he just didn't want to deal with his wife, so maybe he's like trying to put it off.
So he wouldn't have shown up. Well, he didn't want to.
Well, I mean, he has to do it, but like he's just like, I'm just gonna keep like, oh, you know what? This, yeah, like.
In the 1840s, it's like this weird shit.
Plus, plot information needs to be told to give leads to the mystery for the mystery solving teens. But yeah, there's just like, I'm just let me just tell you, 16-year-old child about my wife's. My wife and I's infertility.
Yep.
It's like,
That's weird.
Yes. And then there's the thing about the dead uncles. I was like, oh, hey, can we switch to the dead uncles? That's a lot more interesting to me right now.
Yes. It did kind of have a little bit too much of a situation because like it immediately made me think of like back in Borderlands 2 where like Sir Hammerlock is like, oh, sorry, I'm spouting exposition again.
Yeah,
apologies.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, no, very much so.
Yeah, he's hammerlocking it.
Yeah. And then my next one I have...
Should we make that a term?
Hammerlocking?
Hammerlocking it?
Yeah. The next one I have... well, you're here, aren't you? They didn't like it, but they took the money. They didn't know. Not everything. They didn't. But they suspected some. And they must have been okay with it, because... they kept electing Cleary, and that...
Was Cleary a bad idea? But didn't.
Yes. Hang on. And they kept taking the money. Ha! I knew former Sheriff Cleary was in on it for part 1. Because in last episode, my speculation was that Sheriff Cleary was in on the weird secrets and stuff, and Thomas just laid out that, like, they must have known, or they must have been okay with it because they kept electing Cleary.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Which begs the question, because Cleary was grooming Sammy's dad to be the new sheriff, does Sammy's dad actually know the truth now? Maybe that's why he was like crying in his office and nothing came of it?
Yeah.
Probably.
Because, like, first off, he was reminded by the trauma of losing a child, and never knowing what happened to her, or... he was crying because he knew what actually happened to her,
and he can't share it.
He can't share it, and it, like, basically guilt tripped or guilt ridden.
Nope.
So that is actually my thoughts until we go into final thoughts. I actually have a lot of final thought stuff, but I'll hold that off till we get to that point. So, Mikey, this stands for you.
All right. So the first actual thought I have is actually more of a. I had to learn something.
How dare you? What'd you have to
But knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
So, it's lunchtime.
Oh, okay.
And...
oh, shit. Oh, no? Oh, sorry.
Oh, the story.
I
Sorry.
see.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it says, yeah, I mean, you put in 4 periods, you've been a good son, and Officer Dick Ass already came around and collected the attendance sheets.
Officer Dick Ass? Really? That's That's the best you can go with.
It's almost like they're teenagers.
And it's almost like
they're
all-
high.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost like they're stoned.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's just
so based on the Canadian high school system that we went
clearly
through,
we're going to enforce on this Missouri town.
yes.
Yep.
Basically, what we went through was only 4 courses a day.
Yeah, that's true. Do they have 8?
They have 6 to 8, depending.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serial right now?
Yeah.
Are you super serial though?
Yes.
That's pretty
wow.
serial.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. Like it has been like almost 10 years. God, I'm old. Did like we had 4 periods a day?
Yeah.
But were they always the same course every day, or did we have we had them like
Well,
we had more than one class like a day, right?
They started changing things up later on, so the people after me, so maybe your generation.
Right, because you're cosmically older than all of us.
That's true. It's 100% true.
Anyway, so the way it worked is that you had 2 semesters,
Yeah.
and each semester you had 4 courses. So a total of 8 courses over the course of the year.
Okay. Goddamn. That is.
God dang.
That is. I'm realizing if Americans they have 6 to 8
Yeah,
courses a day.
yeah, which means they probably just have it all the
They
time.
just have a full semester. They just have they don't have a semesters. They have a whole year.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
Damn. I guess it kind of equals out.
It seems a lot harder though.
It's
You gotta keep a lot of stuff in your mind.
that seems a lot more hectic and chaotic than a superior Canadian education system.
Wow. How dare.
Actually, based on from what I've heard from some of my American friends, that would probably be you guys are right. But
I don't know one way or another.
I just know a lot of kids, a lot of American kids that I've talked to and stuff. They bitch about the school system a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I know is I've gone through our school system and I am a moron. So
A+.
yeah. There you go.
But did you go to post-secondary education?
Yes. No, not really. No, kind of. Sort of.
Yeah, what basically when I initially read it, I was like, 4 periods, you're already done. Just go home.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
but then I actually looked it up, and American high school is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the next actual thought I have is in regards to a grammar inquisition that was brought up by you,
Okay.
which was Kyle threw the car in gear and screeched of the parking lot.
Out of the parking lot, yes.
But they're not in a parking lot.
You're not wrong. However, I have an exception to this.
I have the quote.
I know. They parked at the trail. They were at the trailhead to the Prescott Rim Trail or whatever. A trailhead, while not an official parking lot, trailheads can be used to park a car.
They take your bike off the back.
Yeah, and they usually have a small space, a small area to allow a car to park.
It's probably all dirt.
It's not a official parking lot, but it is a parking
area.
lot.
It is
a lot for parking. Mm-hmm. So you're right for questioning it, because I had the same issue, but I thought about it and looked up trailheads and stuff like that. So it's one of those gray areas.
Okay, well, the one sentence here says,
Yeah.
I suddenly realized that Kyle was pulling over off the road,
Yes.
and I snapped out of my contemplation.
And then the next one is I realized we were at the trailhead to the Prescott Rim Trail, which means that they're at the trailhead, which is technically a parking spot or a parking lot.
I wouldn't call it a lot, maybe a spot.
Yeah, but it's a gray area. I agree that it shouldn't be called a parking lot, but it can be.
Mm-hmm. It's not wrong, but it's not right.
Yeah, it's not wrong, it's not right, but it does need a little bit more description to be properly in a parking area. Yeah. I actually would not mind a brief just description of the area to properly confirm that it is a parking. Like there's a couple of parking spots.
How necessary is it?
It really isn't.
It literally just could be he peeled out of our parking spot we were in.
Yeah.
Done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah,
The spot we were
it's
halted at.
yes. But yeah, it is a yes/no situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my, I guess this is more final thought stuff, so I'll
Okay.
move it on.
Wow, that was the only thing you had?
I had two.
Okay, fair enough.
I have more,
Yeah, so do I.
but
We tangented and
like
everything.
that's my final thoughts right now.
yeah, I feel like this should be part of the final thoughts. I was like, contemplating whether to bring it up now or just do it later.
Yeah.
So,
So, Gamer, what do you got for actual thoughts?
Alrighty.
What do you think about the story?
Well, from the get-go, the opening scene, I was frustrated. I was not happy.
Why is it 7 years later? Or why is this 9-year-old, 10-year-old kid working at a sandwich place?
No,
Oh,
I
no?
didn't.
Okay.
I didn't think it was Sammy.
Oh, you didn't think it was?
From
Yeah.
the get-go, I thought he was a completely different character. This is how my mind went.
yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
You wake up. I thought it was immediately, okay, there's the rhyme, and then someone is waking up. I'm like, okay, it's probably Sam. I thought it was Sam waking up at the treehouse.
Yeah.
Because that's where they last were, and the
yeah.
sounds were happening, so I thought they took refuge.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Jimmy comes in and says that he used to work here. Then I'm like, okay, is he talking to someone... Is Jimmy talking to an adult at the school? Because the only time I've seen Jimmy is when he's talking to people at the school. But then I'm like, wait, no... He says, I used to work here when I was a kid, too, so he's talking to a kid. So this is a kid. But he's not at school, but he can't be Sam because he's working. Okay, so it's a new kid. And then he was questioning Jimmy about what he was doing last night. So and the kid is calling him sir repeatedly. It's like, oh, is this Jimmy's son? Because he's being very formal with him. But wait, no, earlier he calls him Mr. Prescott, though, so that wouldn't be his son. And then Jimmy finally says that he's here for lunch. I'm like, oh, he's at Subway. Finally.
Yeah.
And then later on, it says the name of the place. I'm like, oh, it's not a Subway.
Yeah. It says a few paragraphs later. Yeah. Then we find out that it's been 7 years.
That it's artesian sandwiches.
Yeah, artesian.
Yeah.
Artesian.
Yeah.
Artesian. That's what it was.
I had that issue too. Like, I was thinking that it was like still like the next day or something, but it's a different kid.
Yeah.
And we're getting a different take on the area, and then suddenly it's like, oh no, time has passed.
Yeah, it's just 7 years have passed, and yeah. This is what we like to call in writing. This is in media res, where they and time skip, where time has passed, and then they just throw us into a scene.
Yeah, I'm fine with that happening. Yeah. It's just the way that it's described. I have to constantly erase what's in my head to redraw it,
And that's because you live in the moment. You need to just embrace the journey.
So I need to read an entire paragraph before I start imagining anything.
Exactly.
No, you need to read the
Seriously?
Well, not entirely, but like
I would have had to
more.
for this.
You need to be a little more lenient with it.
You need to read the entire story before imagining anything. Apparently.
No, that's not the case. The thing is, you need to get past the point of like, I need to know everything right now. Right now.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than that, you need to be a little bit more lenient with like how you like visualize the story. Like you can't just like get angry at the story for not explaining everything in one sentence.
I don't need everything explained in one sentence. I just need things to be explained the way that you would visualize things. Like, okay, a kid wakes up. Explain what the kid looks like. Explain his surroundings. Where is he? Like the absolute last thing I figured out was that he's at a sandwich shop.
Yeah.
The setting should be like the first thing you know. Because otherwise it's a character in a white background. He's in the Matrix. Yeah. He was in the Matrix the whole time in my head.
Yeah. Okay, it's like having a story. It's like, oh, so many dead bodies. I'm in a morgue. Like,
no,
Like that, a good paragraph, few paragraphs down, and then suddenly you're into more. It's like, oh, that explains the dead bodies.
Yeah, you could just be like in a shopping mall full of just people who've been murdered.
But sometimes the writer of the story wants you to like be like unnerved like that, and then like have the like fake out reveal.
Okay, but there's no unnervingness.
No, I know, but that, I'm just saying like. I disagree with how you read a story.
That's fine
because, but it is your opinion. And it's like, but like, it just seems so odd to me that you like that you like get so angry at a story for not giving everything at once. That's what it sounds like.
I don't need to have it everything at once.
Really, because it sounds like when you explain that, that's what it is.
I don't need to know everything. I just need to have because here's the thing: the first part of this story. Not this part. Mm-hmm. The first actual part of Borrasca.
Yeah.
The entire thing read out like a goddamn movie.
Yeah.
It was all explained perfectly. I understood what they are immediately. And then this one starts and I am clueless. So
Fair.
Something changed.
Yeah.
And it's not just the time skip. Because it was just very confusing from the get-go.
All right. Fair enough.
But moving on.
Yeah. I will stop badgering you on how you perceive things.
Well, no, it's more. It's okay to bring it up with me.
Mm-hmm.
We can have a conversation.
Okay.
It's fine. It's just, it just annoyed me.
That's fair. So yeah, what do you got?
Next part, when he's talking to Mr. Prescott and all that, and he's saying, he's asking if what's her name again?
Mira.
Yeah, if she's here or not. It's like, oh, I thought she'd be in St. Louis. Well, when you're finished, could you mind getting her for me? Shit. Yes, sir. I like the internal dialogue. But, again, I wish the internal dialogue continued through
I wish... Yeah, I do wish
it kind of did.
It does, but, like, the person forgot to... or Sammy, or... Sorry, C.K. Walker forgot to add in the italics whenever the...
I don't think it was italics from the get-go.
Was it not italics?
It was.
Pretty sure it was.
Definitely was.
Oh, wow, yeah, it is. Well, I'm not going to beat that dead horse again.
No, it's fine. Yeah,
fuck, I hate italics. Okay.
Yeah, I hate italics. Moving forward.
Yes.
There's just got to be a better way.
I've talked about it before. I know.
Yeah. What if it was brackets?
Single
or dashes?
I like single quotations because you don't use that for anything else.
Yeah. The only time you use that is if you're talking to somebody and then you add a quote in your quote.
Yeah.
Section.
Yeah, so it is used then, so you can't just put it anywhere. But if it is by itself...
If it's just by itself, I would honestly accept it as a thought. Not as an inner monologue, not a outer dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
But yes, moving forward.
Yes, please. So,
for love of God's sakes.
And then, when he says, when he goes back, at this point he is still narrativing to me. He is he's a sandwich shop employee narrativing. Going back and being like, Mara, Jimmy Prescott's out for he wants to talk to you.
No, his name is Sam Witches. I'll be here all night, guys. Boo.
Pause for laughter.
Bueno.
Cool. Anyways, she turns and gives him a look and said, "What do you say about whatever the fuck?" And she's like, "Okay, you can go home for the day, Sam." I'm like, Sam? Our Sam?
Sam?
Yeah, at that point, I'm like, okay, I guess there's a multi-year gap here.
Yep.
My mind is not in a happy place right now. And then I hopped in my car and texted Kyle. I'm like, okay, totally a time jump. He was not driving a car. He was on a bicycle before. I was not prepared.
Yeah. I do actually bring it up in my final thoughts about the time jump. The time jump.
Time jump.
Mom always said life is like a quantum box.
Yep. Wow. Nicely done, sir. I was trying to think of anything Gump related to say, and I got nothing, but you got it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he's talking to... Oh, wait, no, this is... Okay, after the artesian section, we moved...
Sorry, the artisan.
It's artesian, we've already talked about this. He goes to his friends and starts talking to them, telling them what's going on with the sandwich shop. He tells Kyle all this, and Kyle answers with, "You mean about how no one goes there and the business has been closed for years, but it won't because the Prescotts are stubborn and vain," Kyle said.
Yes, Kyle,
Cap-
thank you.
Yes, Captain Exposition, exactly. But,
Yes, thank you, Kyle, for that amazing exposition.
yeah, because we didn't know that at that point.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, wow. Yeah, no, this story, this one was definitely like the exposition dump.
Yeah.
Like the exposition vomit. Like from at least 4 people.
Like, that could have been handled a lot better if it was... Kyle said one part of it,
And then Kimber said
Kimber
something,
continued
yeah.
the rest, yeah.
And then that stoner kid popped him out of the bushes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, man, that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Did you just imagine him talking like Tommy Chong?
Yes.
Yeah.
That kid was played. That teenage kid was played by a slightly younger Tommy Chong.
Yeah. No, it's just grown up Tommy Chong.
Yeah, no, I mean the one from like the first movie.
Oh, okay.
Where he's like,
he still has the massive beard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
And then the other character is played by
Cheech. Yeah, it's just Cheech and Chong, really. Anyways, so Kimber mentions that she has to go home because the folks have been fighting and all that. And she says, I know, but my parents have been fighting a lot lately. I don't want to leave my mom alone too long. And Kyle answers with, I thought she was doing better. And she's like, a little, but she's still depressed, Kyle. And then Kyle essentially says, well, why don't you come over to my place? Essentially saying, like, I don't want you to help your family. Why don't you just hang out with me?
Yeah.
It's kind of a dick move. If anything, he should be inviting himself to go hang out with her.
Yeah.
So,
but then we find out later that like her parents hate him.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's,
Or at least the mom hates
Mom
him.
does, yeah.
I'm not sure about the dad.
it's still kind of a dick move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's actively trying to help her, or not help
her, but like in a bad, in like a dumb way.
Yeah, because he's getting
He
her
thinks
out of
so.
the hostile situation, but because she's not there, her mother's in a more hostile situation.
Yeah, exactly. Like helping her in a way that he doesn't realize is more selfish than that.
Yeah, it's very selfish. But he's a kid.
Yeah. He's a dumb teenager.
He don't know no better. Oh yeah, and then the only other thing I have is way after this, we finally get the name of the sandwich place. The summer meant no distractions, more time to think, and even more hours of boredom at Prescott Artisan Sandwiches. The Artesian Sandwiches. And it's just really... That's my only...
Also, like, I was like, man, no wonder this place would
Yeah.
is like going in the red. Like this, like seriously, Prescott Artisan. I almost said artesian. I'm trying to.
You're like mixing them together.
Prescott Artesian sandwiches, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I get it, because you're saying that they're
So wait,
skilled people
Let's
making
go
your
to the
sandwiches.
pass.
What?
Let's go to the pass. The PAS.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Let's not go there.
That's fair. That's fair.
But
Let's just go to somewhere.
Yes.
Oh.
Let's go to the subway next to the GameStop.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. He owns both of those anyways.
No, he doesn't. Remember?
Oh, yeah, he doesn't own the
They don't
GameStop.
own the GameStop.
This is 7 years
He
later.
may own they may own the other video game store.
7
They
years
didn't
later.
mention the other game store.
It's 7 years later, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's
well,
cool.
I mean, the company owns. Oh, that's true. Like they might have taken over.
Yeah.
What you meant to say is let's go to the S followed by the G.
Elaborate.
Because you said let's go to the pass. PAS. Prescott Artisan Sandwiches. So Subway is S and GameStop is G.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I remember my audience. If you got that,
Yeah, you guys are way more on the ball than
you are so much more intelligent than we are. You deserve a podcast of yourself, your
Yeah.
own.
Wow.
But anyway,
That's a hell of an abbreviation.
wow.
You didn't even, like, go SW for Subway? Just S?
S and G.
Or GS for GameStop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all one word, so I mean it's the G. And so is Subway, so it's the S.
But it
But
doesn't
no one's
matter.
gonna know. Like it's like a single word is no help.
It's not
Anyway,
it's a letter.
yeah.
I know. You're frustrated. I get it. Either way, I'm done. Move on. Final thoughts. Go.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Basically, acronyms are stupid.
yes.
They're done in a stupid manner.
Yes. All right. So moving on. So I'm gonna start my final thoughts with the last quote of the story. The last quote of the world. The last quote of the story. I watched Kimber fall apart as her mother's body slowly grew cold in the morgue one floor beneath us. Oh! Gotta love these cliffhanger endings. So many questions as this one came to a climactic head at the end. Because it was like, what the fuck's going on? Why'd she jump? Is she did she just jump because she was depressed, or was it because of why was she depressed? Was she depressed because she knew secrets? What the fuck?
Just be the father was an asshole.
Yeah, or that kind of.
It could be completely unrelated.
I wonder if her. I'm curious to see if her suicide was connected to just the depression, or just a red herring, or if it's actually something that she knew about the town, and that's why she's been depressed. Started growing more and more depressed. She found out about it or something. Is it going to tie into the rest of the story?
It's probably gonna, because it's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
If it wasn't,
maybe.
Well, the first one, the cliffhanger was
Whitney.
Yeah, and now her.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised with the.
So that means Kimber is next because it has to be females being killed or taken.
God. I was a little surprised by the jump to 7 years after the first part, because I actually thought it was going to be like little kid, 9-year-old and 10-year-old kids, Little Fears adventures.
Yeah, it switches it from the Goonies to It.
It does kind of make sense though to have because again, logistically, teenagers are easier to. It's easier to swallow. This is going to sound really bad. It's easier to swallow teenagers solving mysteries, super dark and secret, mysteries like this in a town, than 9 or 10-year-olds, Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew kind of stuff. The teen gumshoe genre is a thing because of that. Because it's that easy to. It's easy to define, because they have more access to things. 9 and 10-year-olds have bikes and this isn't Stranger Things, or again, Little Fears is a tabletop game that delves into that. Mm. But it is more. It's easier to digest as a reader, as an older reader, that teenagers could could somehow solve a dark secret mystery like this.
Yeah.
And understand the implications. When the old man cryptically says the powder, they instantly think it's drugs, whereas a kid would have thought that was some kind of monster or something in the mountains. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish it was, but I don't think it's going to end up being that way.
Yeah.
Honestly, throughout the story, I actually found a lot of the scenes were very cinematic in nature, but cinematic in that way of again, teen mystery, Scooby-Doo-esque kind of, not Scooby-Doo, but those kind of those movies and film and shows that are about a teen, high school mysteries that the kids are trying to solve the mystery that is so much above them. Mm-hmm. And even when Sam is looking at the kids playing the yard as his friends are plotting their idea, what they're going to do the next day, and he's seeing the tree, and it reminds him, and there's something carved in the tree and it reminds him of the triple tree. It really kind of reminded me actually of some scenes from True Detective, where the detective is just looking off in the distance after he gets out of his car and just sees something that reminds him of something from their childhood, or from a memory that is tied to the mystery.
I don't think he was looking at the kids remembering back. I think he was listening to what they were saying and getting information off of what they were saying. Yeah, but he was still he saw the tree, he saw the carving. That's what reminded him of the triple tree. And then he was looking at listening to the kids do the talking about the skin men, and then they brought up the shiny gentleman. Mm-hmm. I really think the whole touching the tree thing might be connected. Yeah, I don't know. That might be a thing that will save them by the end. Or the skin men are after them, and as long as you have a hand on the tree, you're fine. If it goes supernatural, but I don't know if it's going to go supernatural. I think I honestly think we're delving into a real world creepy drug trafficking, human trafficking kind of. Yeah, it's possible. Mm-hmm. Just based on the guy on old Prescott's cryptic messages and conversation they had. Yeah. The powder doesn't know that it's bad, but people call it bad. And then they even before they mention it in the story, I was so drugs, mm-hmm. White powder, crack and cocaine, probably cocaine more than crack. That's just sugar. Yes, that would be. Turns out they're just smuggling sugar from the Isle de Sucros. Yep, exactly. Anyway, what else do I have here for my final thoughts? My recommendation. At this point, like I said, I feel it's going to be a drug trafficking
like mystery. However, because of like the way like Prescott is like he is suffering from dementia and he's being very cryptic, I kind of want like this like to flip it on its head. I'd like to see it have a supernatural like have the powder the way he's saying like how it does how it
doesn't know it's bad.
It doesn't know it's bad, and some of that like what if it's just some kind of weird supernatural force in the mountain that they found when they dug too deep? It's not going to be that. I understand. Like, I know in my heart of hearts, it's not.
Why would it be called the powder, anyways?
Well, he's just calling it the powder as like oh, you mean like the creature?
Yeah.
Because it's made up of like sand and powder.
It's a
like
powder monster.
Yeah, it's like a creature that is made up of like
it's like a sand golem situation.
Exactly. Yeah. Or it's like iron sands. Like it's made up of like the ore and stuff like that. I don't know. Again, I know it's going to probably be something creepy, real world stuff, but my brain always likes to speculate on the more fantastical element to shirk away from the skeevy shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my recommendation. I have a feeling it's going to be we're going full on like drug trafficking and like for some reason the town's oldest families are kind of in on it. And they've been
because you still think what's her name is in on it.
I don't think Mira is actually in on it, but I think we're going to find out that like there's a lot of the older townsfolk are in on this thing, and they've been doing it to keep the town alive.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a hot fuzz situation.
Yeah, very much like a hot fuzz situation.
Yep. So that means that Sam's going to ride in on a horse at the end.
Yeah, and just shotguns. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just start taking them all out.
Yep. And laugh if that happens.
If this story goes action pasta, like I'm going to laugh, but I'm also going to be a little disappointed.
Yeah, it's like the next one is like another 7 years later, and they've been like training.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
I also kind of hope that like this was the only time I understand like I was kind of partially confused why they did the time skip, but then I understood why they were doing it because
it makes it more convenient.
Yeah, but I hope this is the only time skip because if we keep doing time skips, I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my final kind of thing is like, damn if this story didn't capture me with the journey of Team Gumshoe investigation, and left me wanting to read the next part to see what happens next. So this one's not as good as the first part to me personally, because I feel like the first one was also tighter it wasn't as there wasn't as much spelling issues, and even aside from those like nitpicky things. It felt like a tighter story than what we have right now. Like this one, it's just a slightly different genre of investigation because of the age gap or the age, like the current age of the characters. So, I still recommend the story, but the part one was definitely superior to the second part.
All right.
So that's my recommendations, final thoughts.
Alright, the next thing I have here is we've already been touched on, like, will the next one skip another 7 years?
Eventually, by part 5, they're going to be like 80, or no, wait, 7, it's 4 times 7. Or 5 times 7. What's 5 times 7?
What did they start at?
They started at 9 and 10.
Were they?
Yeah.
No.
And then it was 7 years, so there's 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
So 23, 24.
Then 30...
24, then 31, then 38, then 45, sorry.
So,
59. Yeah.
To be fair, like it's not going to be comically like they're 74 when they finally solve this mystery, but like it would be funny. It does keep time jumping, and it's just like they're like in their 40s by the time they figure out the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it might if it does do that, it could just be like every 7 years something happens at Borrasca.
Ooh, yeah.
And that's why there's always something happening every 7 years?
That's why there's... Yeah, it's almost like the It thing, where every 21 years something... Like, It comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every 7 years, the mountain demands a sacrifice.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why Kimber's mom jumped. She was trying to, like, become the sacrifice or something. Or, like... But, like, it failed, maybe?
Yeah. Like maybe they were trying to take her, and instead of being taken, she just ran away and did that.
Yeah, I was honestly trying to figure out why she was like depressed. Like I was like, and in the way like I was like trying to figure out like, did Kimber have a brother or sibling?
No, but her father is abusive.
Oh, was there? Is it mentioned in the first one?
Pretty sure. No, in this one.
In this one, okay, I didn't.
Pretty sure.
I know they had fights. I didn't know. I didn't think it outright said that she was abusive.
But if they're constantly fighting, that's abuse. It's not physical abuse.
Yeah,
but you know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know.
But at the same time, like Kimber is there for her.
Yeah,
like and doing the best that she can.
So maybe the dad's just never there. Like doesn't like stay at home that much because of the fights and stuff.
Maybe.
That's the mom's fault now.
No, but I'm not saying that at all. I'm just like that's why like she's depressed and stuff like that is because like even after like when he's at home they're fighting, and then like she gets depressed when he's not there kind of thing. So like that's why Kimber has to stay there and keep an eye on her, make sure she doesn't do anything too bad.
Well,
I don't know. It's again we don't like. I kind of hope that it isn't just a red herring.
Yeah.
I hope it does tie into the story because otherwise it's just.
Yeah,
another teen trope of like a broken toy for your broken home kind of thing. Like you have a broken family kind of like teen trope.
It'd be much nicer if it is tied somehow into it, like you said, where she knows something and she just can't handle with it.
Yeah, or maybe like she got into the conspiracy and she thought like the only way out was basically to end it.
Yeah,
in a very like flashy way. Jesus.
Yeah.
That being said, would she be able to actually physically do that? Walk into a hospital, walk up to the roof, and jump.
No, did she?
Well, you can probably easily walk into the hospital.
Yeah.
Pick an elevator, but then getting up to the roof, not necessarily.
Take a little bit more like some stealth.
Yeah.
I highly doubt it's just open. Like there's keys for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Unless she, like, we never actually find out where she works, so maybe she, like, worked at the hospital? I almost got
I don't think so, because I believe that they were the poor family.
Were they the poor family? Okay.
I don't know.
I think.
For some reason, I might be just, like, extrapolating it, but I kind of got the impression that she did work at, like, she had some kind of connection to the hospital, and that's why she was able to get access to it, but...
The only way she'd have access to the roof is if she was like a security guard or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Because even if you're a nurse or a doctor, you don't have keys.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to be a maintenance person.
Yeah.
Yeah, which could be like why she was like able to do it because they're like basically just like washing the sheets, like doing the laundry work and stuff like that kind of maintenance stuff.
I don't know,
but yeah, it's a
mystery.
Yep. I guess we'll have to find out. Hopefully, we find out a little bit more in the next part.
Mm-hmm. So my next note here is that this has become a rather mundane slice of life horror.
Yeah. Do you hate that?
Well, it annoyed me because Father Prescott didn't have the Midas touch for iron like I was recommending.
Yeah. He's just a crazy old man.
And then...
You could have the Midas touch for cocaine, though.
That's true.
If you touch iron specifically, it turns into cocaine. That's why they're trying to keep the iron mines open.
Yep. And then, so I also just realized I did a visual gag when I did the nose nose tap.
Yep. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We love doing visual gags for
our
podcast.
Audio only podcast.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then Whitney either ran away on her own or was killed/kidnapped by the kids that she was last seen with. And then they're in on it so that they're potentially higher ups and can get away with shit.
Maybe.
Or they know the secrets of the town and they can get away with shit.
Yeah.
And then in that case, her name being on the triple tree is just a red herring. Because she could have been there any time before.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I feel like the tree. I don't know. Like there's so many names on that tree. Like if it was like only like certain people. Oh, that would be. What if it's just girls? Like all the kids put their name on the triple tree, right? Mm-hmm. What if the skin men and whatever are only taking the girls? Like that's why they like. Has it only been girls? Yeah, only girls have gone missing. Paige and Whitney. I guess that's not enough to.
No, it's not.
Keep going,
It's not enough
because Kimber's not taken.
Not yet.
And it's not an age thing.
Oh fuck! Not yet.
Was Paige that Danielle girl's younger sister or older sister?
I think older sister.
I think you're saying that because it'd be convenient.
No, I'm only saying that like I think I attribute it to being older. I know that they were 5 when she went missing.
Because it might be when you're at a certain age bracket, you get taken.
Yeah. Ooh.
So.
Yeah, because if it's an older sister, because Whitney was about 16.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which means it's Kimber's turn.
No.
Yeah.
Like her and Kyle make such a cute couple.
Sure they do.
Yeah. And then another way to look at it is that the town is actually very racist, and the skinned men are actually brown-skinned men.
Okay. Sure.
So they don't like the Aboriginals.
Okay.
But they don't want to seem outwardly racist, so they don't say brown.
Yeah.
They're just
the skinned men.
the differently skinned men.
Oh.
Wow.
Or they're called the skin men because they scalp other people. No. Wow. Yeah, that could be a really racist thing.
That's such a subject there. Yeah.
It is in the Ozarks.
Apologies to anyone in the Ozarks.
So, I mean, based on what I've heard from the RPPR crew, like on their podcast and stuff like that, who are from Missouri and the Ozarks, they bash the Ozarks so much.
Oh, yeah.
So, because it is like the middle of nowhere.
Alright. And then the other thing I have is that it could be in regards to like metalworking and stuff.
Yeah.
So the shiny gentlemen are the ones that are wearing a protective suit.
Yeah.
And the skin men are the idiots who do metalworking without protective.
So they're just like so we're still going to like you're still trying to like hope for some supernatural element.
No, this is sounding very mundane from what he's saying.
Yeah. Basically, you're doing metalwork without protective armor.
Oh, okay. So they're skinned because they don't have any protective gear.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Maybe. Yeah. Because they're unpaid workers. To add on to the whole, racist dark town secret.
The story's getting more and more fucked up the more we look into it.
Yeah.
Alright, so onwards to recommendations.
Oh, that wasn't?
Well,
I was
there's
just taking
still
note of things.
thoughts
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's fair.
what's going to happen to Kyle's family?
Yeah.
Because
Sam's lost a sister. Kimber's lost a mom. We haven't really heard much from Kyle.
His
Kyle's
father's
family.
next.
Oh no. The car.
What? Oh, his car is the next target?
She's stupid. It's like, the car is next. No.
So the car's gone, him and Kimber break up.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah. Like,
What's
I
the
wonder
car?
if it is. I wonder if or I wonder if we're gonna lose he's gonna lose his brother.
oh yeah, this little brother.
Parker?
The little brother who's now like, yeah. How old was that kid in the?
He was
first one?
6.
He was 6, so it'd be like what, 12 now?
13.
13, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
so,
didn't hear from him at all.
yeah, he was not in this at all.
Yeah.
We got more. We got more details about like the classmates.
The thing is that there's enough of an age gap that they would not attend high school together.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's the
But like he went home and talked to his dad. They could have
that's
Parker
true.
could have
Sam did, not Kyle.
Oh yeah, Durr. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't see the slice of life with.
Where's Sam's? Wait, hang on. Where's Sam's mom? Oh, right. Sam's mom is kind of like still coping or still grieving over
Yes.
Whitney as she spent.
She wasn't.
She was
in this section, but she was.
But she was because they passed Whitney's room where
The light was on
where
and she was in there.
You're sobbing still.
Yeah.
Alright, and then the next thing I have here is that I feel that we won't learn anything about Borrasca, and our protagonist will just slowly fall into madness. because he's chasing after something that he's not going to find the answer to.
He spent 7 years being obsessed over like the disappearance of his sister and Borrasca and stuff, and he's being bottled
And learned nothing.
and learned that she didn't run away, or that she didn't run away with Jay.
Yeah.
That's
old
like that's the most he's found out so far about Borrasca until getting his actual friends to like help him on this journey because and go talk to Thomas.
Did the cops not pull her her text logs?
They did.
She was texting like a whole bunch of people all the time.
Yeah, they did.
And they found nothing from that?
I honestly think, like, at this point in the story, the cops are all in on, or the cops are in on the conspiracy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's why they didn't. And again, like, why did the dad not worry about it? Mind you, the dad might also just be like super still like he might be grieving the way the mom is, just in a more like sorry, I do in quotes, manly way, where it's like bottle it up and then like go hide behind go into a room and just cry for hours.
Yeah, that's never happened to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Master Victor's Robin of why?
Oh, God. They're only human after all.
But yeah, I have a feeling like that's actually the thing I'm going to add on to my recommendations. I'm going to call it now. Like, so Cleary is clearly in on it, as we discovered.
Cleary? Yeah.
But I'm going to call it now. Sam's dad is also now in on it.
Yeah.
Like, or he's been forced to be in on it. Like, he's been forced to agree to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because he's already done, like, because in the first one, like, at the beginning of it, like, he did some shit. He fucked up. He fucked up somewhere in the St. Louis County.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he fucked up in a bad way. Like,
it sounded like he
not to the point of him being a corrupt cop kind of fuck.
No, but maybe he there was an accident of some kind or something.
Yeah.
Like, he had to like
he did his paperwork wrong or some bullshit.
Or maybe he shot a suspect accidentally kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like, again, it's left ambiguous for us to like just come up with our own.
No, it's because his father's going to be Captain Exposition at the as the final boss.
Well, you see,
it'll be just like that other one we read recently. Damn it, where that guy was taken to the cabin with all the people, and he had superpowers, and he had to drink human blood so he wouldn't have superpowers.
Oh, Tale of Robert Elm.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm still heartbroken.
Are you?
Yeah, remember?
No, I remember.
Okay.
I purged it.
Never mind then.
Cool. Moving on.
Yes, moving on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel that the mundane is setting in, and the story, for me, has lost a lot of the wind from its sails that we got from the first part.
It's not feeling as mystical anymore.
Yeah.
To me, it's shifted from being mystical to being kind of like just a creepy murder mystery, or a creepy like conspiratorial mystery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, it's because it's not through the eyes of a child anymore.
Yeah, and I think that is it. Like it's matured, but into a more like kind of like serious real world like trauma conspiracy thing. Mm-hmm. Kind of like True Detective. Now, last part I was comparing the story to Stephen King. Now I'm comparing this one to True Detective.
Mm-hmm. Actually, thinking back to the first one, when Sam went up to his dad to tell him like, "Oh, it's Borrasca, it's the tree," his dad just went, "You know what? No, go to your room."
Oh, you're right. Or he did
nose touch.
Yeah.
That's how you do
nose tap.
Nose tap. Yeah.
Yeah, like because in True Detective, season 1. Spoilers for it. Go see it if you don't, or go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. It's pretty good.
La 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 la. Oh, I probably shouldn't do that.
No, you watched it with me.
Did I?
Yeah.
I didn't.
You totally did.
I must have accidentally purged that with all the other nonsense.
La 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 la.
All right. Well, never mind then.
All right. Well, tell the folks at home.
Well, no, because like
I'm not going to watch it. Go ahead.
Well, in that one, like there is this like undercurrent of like the King in Yellow and Carcosa and stuff like that.
That's cute.
Amidst this like conspiratorial murder mysteries that spans over actually a time gap.
Yeah.
Like the first part is like set in like the early 2000s, but like it's being like recalled like 10 years later by the same detectives who thought they had solved the mystery. Mm-hmm. And it's like a human trafficking, drug cult, pedophilia cult kind of thing, with masks and creepy things. And there, and like I said, there's this undercurrent of like people, like random like suspects and whatnot. Like, have you seen the yellow sign? Like, have you seen the black stars in the white sky? Like they like creepy, like cryptic Carcosa stuff like that. And it's never actually like it's the actual murder mystery. Like the mystery behind it is a real world creepy, like skeevy, like conspiracy of like. Rich assholes who are kidnapping children or like young girls and like performing ritual like rape and murder. But there's this undercurrent of like, is there something like more to like something more creepy like supernatural to it, or is it just crazy? Is it just crazies talking nonsense?
Yeah.
And I have a feeling this story is kind of toting that line. As of right now, the story is kind of toting that line of like. Is there actually an undercurrent of something like paranormal or supernatural like to this, or is it just kind of like urban legend folklore blending in with real world like conspiracy? Because that's kind of what it feels like. Because like the kids all have this like special story about the triple tree and the skinned men, Borrasca, and so on. They have this the kids in this town have built up this urban legend and folklore around a actual conspiracy within their town of murder and disappearances. So it's, I just wonder if it's going to stay, if we're going to be revealed to have like just come straight up murder mystery, realistic horror, or if we're going to have it like keep that tinge of like the unknown or the folklore blended in,
or straight up just reveal that there's some weird fucked up shit going on.
Yeah, like they get into
situations.
They go to Borrasca. They go to the caves. There is some drugs being trafficked, but they're actually sacrificing the people that disappear to something in the mountain. I don't know which one I'd like better. Like it's really like it's something like I always like find myself confused about because like. On the one part, I love monsters and I love supernatural bullshit. At the same time, the real horror scares me more. Like, more deeply. So, like, that kind of stuff scares me more deeply because it's so real. Like, it can actually happen. So, yeah.
Says the man that summoned Cthulhu last week.
Well, yes. Wait, did I?
How'd you forget?
I might have purged it from my memory. My brain might have just like shrugged it off.
Yeah,
cleanse itself.
Yeah,
with what little sand I have. Anyway, story. I just took over that. I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's what we did.
So my hope for this being supernatural is dwindling.
Yeah.
And because of it, I really am not really feeling the recommendation.
Wow.
For this one.
Where were you at for the first part?
The first one, it was a good start. So that's got a recommendation. This one, it's it goes down, and the whole suicide thing, I really hope it gets explained that she knew something, because just throwing depression at it is not...
It just seems like not. It's if it's just a red herring, it is a little tasteless.
Yeah.
Just have a random suicide in your story, just to add like tragedy to the characters. Like,
and it's been referenced repeatedly. Through this entire part too.
Like there's
just the whole home life situation with her family. So
just to add salt to the wound. Basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, like, that whole thing left a bad taste in my mouth, and I was like,
This better have a payoff, or I'm going to be very pissed.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's sort of where I sit on this.
Fair enough.
I'm kind of with you. I was annoyed from the get-go, because this random narrative was in the Matrix. But
it turned out to be Sandwich.
Yep. That's fine. I prefer the other one because it felt, like we mentioned, a lot cleaner. It felt damn near flawlessly executed, I'd say, almost.
Yeah.
Because it, as I mentioned earlier as well, reading it felt like I was watching a movie. Everything was perfectly visualized. I didn't have to question much. Like, comparing my notes, I have way more notes here because there's more things that I have to question and bring up. So...
Yeah.
So far, it's taken the second act isn't as good as the opening. Let's hope
for the third
that it can recover.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
it's a little bit of a stumble as it was trying its trick.
But it's not at the point where I wouldn't say that people should watch
Walk
it.
away.
Jeez. See, I visualize it so much. I said watch, but that people should read it because it is good. It's just
not as strong as the first one.
This one's making me worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was this week's episode. I just do that for effect.
Vaguely shuffle your 3 papers around.
If you like what you heard, or if you didn't, leave us a comment in the comment section below where this gets posted. We are on iTunes and other streaming channels, so leave us a rating and review. Let us know how we're doing and help us spread like a virus. You can also talk to us on Twitter at ReviewCultist, Mikey's at the E stands for evil, and The Gamer in Yellow is at The Gamer in Yellow, but without the W. You can also leave us an email at aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's ALDENTERIGAMORTIS@gmail.com, where you can also send us messages and suggestions for other creepypastas you'd like us to discuss on the show. We can also be found at crazonstudios.tumblr.com, crazon.deviantart.com, and on our YouTube channel, Al Dente Rigamortis, where we have each episode together with a title card as a visual. If you'd like to help support the show, you can become a patron. Go to Al Dente Rigamortis on Patreon and select the backer tier you'd like to support us at and get some extra content as our thanks. At the $5 tier, we have early access to our regular show on Tuesdays before it is released on Thursdays. My co-hosts also have a show of their own.
Al Dente Reloaded, where Mikey and I go back to the good, the bad, and the ugly pastas that the cultist and the doctor did in the past, read them ourselves, and see what our thoughts are on them.
All right. And for the $2 tier, we provide some monthly specials, such as Al Dente Real Talk, where we discuss film media that has leanings to creepypasta-esque horror. There's also Actual Play Rigamortis, where we occasionally play and record tabletop games that have creepypasta themes. And if you can't get enough of my two co-hosts, they have another show at this tier as well.
Al Dente Revelations, where Mikey and I continue our thoughts from our previous Reloaded episode after listening to the episodes that the cultist and the doctor did, and see how our thoughts differ or contrast to what they say, and possibly have a mind-breaking revelation while doing so.
Cool. To all our patrons, thank you immensely. You're helping keep those hosting bills at bay, and we deeply appreciate that. And to those simply listening, and the authors of the stories, without you, we wouldn't have much of a show. So, thank you all the same. Until next time, I've been your host, Review Cultist.
I'm Mikey, the E stands for evil.
And I'm the Gamer in Yellow.
This has been Al Dente Rigamortis. Sleep well.